boys today. How's my girl? How's my boys? How's my dad? Okay. How you boys doing? How you boys doing? How you boys doing? How's my boys? 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 How's my big fellas? Where's my hat, you guys? Where's my hat, mister? Where's my hat? How's my big fella Timber? What a good boy. What a good boy. You haven't seen me in a while. This is Timber. And that's his brother Thor. They're my hiking buddies today. I got Phoenix helping me out. Here, Phoenix. That. So yeah, we got a fun day going on. It's turning out to be a beautiful day. It was cold this morning, and so we were hustling to warm up a bit, but it's really nice now. What is it, buddy? What is it, mister? What is it, mister? What is it, mister? Huh? What is it, buddy? What is it, buddy? That's my big boy. What a good boy. What a good boy. What a good boy. You're such a good boy. There's my other boy. Here's my other brother, Thor. There's my boy. Oh my goodness, you guys. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You guys are so good. Take it easy. So these two boys, they're there's my girl Phoenix. So Phoenix is helping me train today. She's been dying to come and train. She's helped me train before, but now that my boy Mon is healing up, Phoenix is going to step in and give him a hand. Now, for those of you that don't know, we're all about related genetics and siblings and that sort of thing. So these two brothers, of course, I have two more brothers down in the yard. They're out of Tika and Leaf. Now, Phoenix, the dog I was just talking about was Mon. That's my top trainer. But Mon got a little crack in his, twisted his leg on the rocks over there and got a little crack in his bone there. So he's, tough as it is for him, I got him a nice soft pen, and he's just hanging out. It's a big pen, but I put a lot of shavings in it, and he's just going to hang out for a few weeks. So Phoenix is starting to step up. Now Phoenix is a daughter of his brother Jaeger, and of course the mother of Phoenix is Mon's grandmother. Now the grandfather and grandmother of Phoenix is the great grandmother and grandfather of these pups. What a good girl. Phoenix, you're so fantastic. You're such a good girl, Phoenix. Unbelievable. What a job you're doing today. What a job. Now, the role of the trainer is to model for these little guys. So the trainer's got to be highly skilled. And of course, has to have skills around the handler, how to come up to the handler, how to hang around, what to teach these little guys. And when I say stop, like we did back there, she better stop and they better stop. And they did. Felix is a rock star. So yeah, the great-grandparents of, let me see if I got that right. No, by golly. Yeah, great-grandparents of this litter is the grandparents of this dog. That's right. Because Dakota and Mia are the great-grandparents of these two brothers. Now, I wanted to touch a little bit today we're one of the few breeders that we like siblings. We focus on siblings. I have three other sisters of Phoenix, just to give you an idea. Her dad and Mom are brothers. The grandmother of this dog, these two boys, of course, is the brother to Phoenix's dad and Mom. And of course, the mother of these pups, Tika, her full sister, same litter as Kai, she's back in the yard. Come up here, boys. And so I have tons and tons of siblings. And we've been raising siblings for a long time. We place siblings with good families. Now, siblings takes a little bit of the breeder has to have a pretty good clue on what's going on. You don't just place certain pairs with families. You have to understand the dynamics. Now, Elkhounds are pack-oriented, so they do extremely well in sibling situations. And, for example, I'll use these two boys. These two boys here, this particular pair, they could go their whole life as brothers in the same family, just be the best pair in the world. Now, when I'm training the boys and putting the boys together, I sort out a few things about the boys and run the boys that match up. Osa and Thor, you see, would be at each other all day because they're both about the same personality. But Thor and Timber are slightly different personality. He's very laid back, very low-key fella. Now, Thor is the boss of the litter. He's the top-ranked pup in the whole litter. And so all of the dogs are very comfortable letting him control that whole situation. They grew up with it. He started that out probably from day one, pushing people off the nipple he wanted. Now, this dog is very low-key, very laid-back, full-tilt dog, full dominant dog on his own, perfect dog. But in almost all cases when you're running two, one's going to just step ahead in almost every situation. The other one's a ton of backup. But what happens is there's never confrontations in these situations. You can run these two. I suppose if you left them both intact and had a breeding female walk into the pen, that's a different story. But day-to-day life for the average person, they don't run into that situation, just me. So these two boys could run their whole lives out in the bush, intact, non-stop, never have an issue. If you threw one bone out, of course, well, you must have rocks in your head, but as long as you throw two bones out, never a problem. Now, there may be situations where Thor gets them both and may go get them both and keep them. And Timber will just sit there and bark at them. That's just the way it is. But if Timber gets them both, he probably won't keep them both. He might end up with them in front of him, but he wouldn't be able to keep them. It's just natural law for these boys. And so in a pack situation, there has to be some law and order. And so they have to have instincts to let somebody step ahead if it shows up. Now, if no leader shows up in the pack, then it's just the way it is. But we always have somebody. And in this case, it's Thor. Now, that doesn't detract from this dog at all. This dog's still a rock star, still absolutely flawless dog. And it's a beautiful Elkhound. And on his own, he takes charge of his surrounding, his role, his everything. I'm only talking if they're ran together. But this is the perfect pair to run together, of course. Now, I would have liked to have placed these two boys in the same home because they are so well suited to each other. And they're nice to train individually. And that's the other key thing that you have to do in a sibling situation and running two dogs. You got to train both individually. So you would take Thor one day and train him, then you would take Timber, and then you could run them together the next, and so on and so forth. If there's a husband and wife couple, it's very, very easy, because one day the wife can take Thor, the husband can take Timber, and then switch the next day, each take the other dog, and then go together with the two. and makes for extremely balanced dogs that way. Not one dog getting all the training and the other dog just following. You always run siblings individual training too. Good girl, Phoenix. What a good girl. Oh, you're a good boy. You're doing exactly what Phoenix does. Yes, yes, Timber. See, that's how they model, right? It's exactly. Now, I want them to come by me. I like them to jump up. I train them to get up here. This is the best place for them to learn how to get around the handler. I listen to all these goofs that talk about, oh, you got to get your dog to stay down, stay down, stay down. Might push some old lady over. Well, what are they doing out with the old lady? Like, good gracious. So in remote terrain, what I do is I want them to come, and I want them to get close to me, and I want them to have as much fun as possible here. I'm not going to be able to drag them off that moose trail if it's not fun here, and if it's controlled and all these rules when they get here and all this kind of stuff when they get here. They're not coming here. And so you cannot train off-leash dogs and have a whole bunch of rules when they get here. Bottom line is, the rules are they come, they get a reward. It's a big fun time. I suppose if you're living in the city and you got little old ladies coming by that could be frail and could get knocked over by a dog if a dog jumped on her, well, so be it. But that's not me. So I tell all the old ladies, be prepared, like get ready, because my dogs are going to jump on you. And if you can't handle that, then sit down. Like, so what? So we don't train our dogs to not jump on us, obviously. There's no faster way to get a dog to stay over there when you call him is to make him do something he doesn't like when he gets here. Instinctively, this is what they want to do. This is instinct. Get right up here by the handler. Let the handler know that they've got a bond. They want a bond. And with sibling situations, you see, they'll both want to do it, and that's the way it should be. Anybody who tells you that it's not the way it should be just doesn't understand working remote terrain. And remote terrain with dogs off leash, of course. I haven't even got a leash with this group today. I haven't had a leash with these guys for a while now. So we're hiking for miles here, and these boys are within distance of me. I mean, these two here, I bet you they haven't been 10 feet from me the whole day. These guys are really, really skilled. Osa and Coda, they go a little further. Osa especially. He likes about a 25-foot range. But Coda's quite good. But these two here, wow, they're like glue. So when you're looking at, and you can look at a ton of information on raising siblings and getting two dogs as pups and all that. Everybody tell you don't do it, simply because you're probably running dumb dogs. The breeder hasn't set the people up properly with the right pair. The dogs are not pack instinctive dogs. They're probably breeds that don't work well as a pack, as a pair, and a whole host of reasons. But if you get the right pair in a pack-oriented breed like this, and the breeder has a clue, of course, then, I mean, my very first litter, of course, we were putting pairs out. And so we've got many pairs of dogs, and flawless dogs, beautiful dogs. So we're big fans of it. There's certain things that dogs can give another dog that there's no way humans can do it. And so there's certain relationships that dogs have with each other that they crave, they like, they need. It's good for their mental health. It's good for their happiness. It's good to keep your dogs happier. Two dogs live longer. Two dogs live healthier. Two dogs are easier to work with than one dog, simply because what I find anyway is one dog can get bored. It can lead to a situation where it just does not want to pay attention, and all kinds of people encounter that, where the dog just they try to go take a dog off leash out in the bush, and the dog has lost the ability to be part of a pack. And by having two dogs, of course, works really, really well. So I run siblings almost all the time. Now, training situations, I'll bring one dog to model, sometimes two, maybe more, depending on what I want to do. Today, Phoenix wanted to come by herself. I had Vida up here yesterday with the other two boys, and Phoenix wanted to come and show off a bit, so I said, well, that'll be fine. So, yeah, beautiful dogs, these guys. Now, let me clarify my jumping statement. You don't have to have them jump on you if you're not doing what I'm doing. If most of your work is fairly low-key, and it's not in remote terrain like this, and you're on trails a lot and in urban areas and on a leash a lot, you're around national parks, provincial parks, things like that, places where leashes are required, well, potentially then train them to come and sit. It'll take you about an hour, and you could train that if you want. So it's not like these guys can't learn. They can learn anything. This is, in my opinion, one of the smartest breeds in the world, so you can train them anything you like. So if you want to train that, you go right ahead. Me, I do it the other way around. I want them to come close. Now, when you're training off leash, of course, you got to stop, and you got to have this kind of behavior right here. If you get this kind of behavior, you know you've done your work, because now the boys are relaxed, they're able to sit, they're able to chill out. I mean, have you ever seen pups this relaxed in the middle of nowhere? I mean, designer dogs would be long gone. They'd be running all over the place, going crazy. These boys, look at that, just chill. He's actually going to go to sleep right here, believe it or not. Now that's a pretty cool set of pups. Now, of course, we've done some work, so they're not fresh out of the gate either. And so you have to stage your walks so that when you do some stop training and some command training, that they have had some of that fire burnt off, of course. Come out, play a little bit with a rope toy, have a little bit of fun, just wrestle around a little bit before you get working, burn a little of that steam, then start working. But of course, these boys are very skilled at this age already. They've been getting training for quite some time. They have another month to go, almost a month exactly. So fourth today, they're going home on the 5th. And so by that time, I mean, they'll be soloing, rock star solos up here, and very skilled at it. These two here are 4th generation dogs for us, so we understand the genetic, how to train this genetic, how to work with this genetic, and we understand the breed very well, but more importantly, we understand the genetics behind this dog. And these are Pretty Boy Leaf's pups as well. Pretty Boy Leaf was a new import for us. He was brought in for our females, but we know the female extremely well. Now, we've seen Leaf work with the sisters of all 4 sisters of the mother of this just perfectly. And every dog comes out full instinct, just a working machine. And so we're very, very comfortable with Leaf's genetics right now. In fact, I kept a couple of Leaf's daughters, of course. And so I have those daughters there. I'm actually going to use one of Leaf's sons as a breeding stud dog on the litter with Vida. So we're very, very confident that his genetics match with ours so perfectly. Now, we spend a lot of time sorting out the genetics that work, and it takes a little bit to get the right pairs, but that's our background. That's what we do. So you end up with these rock stars, just these total working little dogs, and I mean they're 12 weeks old. On Friday they'll be 12 weeks old. And there's very few dogs that you can come on a hike of this caliber and have this behavior at 12 weeks. I mean, it's an incredible set of little guys. So these two are good boys. Now I like running 2 at a time for quite some time, but this next month now I will break them up a little bit, and so they'll be running single. Phoenix will take 1, Vida will take 1, Luna will take 1, that sort of thing. And we'll be bringing the males in to play as well. So Great Grandpa Dakota will be coming in for the final 2-3 weeks there, and setting behaviors in. Now you see, running with the big males has different impacts than the young females, and so they learn different skills, different behaviors, different how to behave around the big males. And so Leaf will spend time out here with them, and but primarily Dakota will set a lot of that ground rule for him. He's the top ranked male, so he controls behavior setting and does an excellent job on it. We have a full pack rank scenario, and so these pups are exposed to the entire thing all the way down. And it's very, very cool to watch, because Thor is the top ranked female. She's right below Dakota. Kai is the next. Now little Letta is taken over, which is the daughter of Kai. So we got 3 levels of females there, tough as nails. So watching Letta with these little guys is quite cool. She's letting them know who's boss. Now Phoenix probably found a moose over there. You see that, boys? The moose are in behind. Oh, it's a squirrel in that tree is all it is, boys. That's nothing. Don't have to worry about that. That's nothing, boys. If it was a moose, you could get going. Get that baby stopped. The moose are all in this draw. The other day I had their full brother up here, almost full brother. Anyway, it's Kai's pup, Torque. And Kai and Tika, the mother of these, are full sisters. And Torque is the son of Leaf too, but he's older, so he was the litter that had just went home, and he came back for some training with the young handler Cash. So we were all up through this hill. We were cruising here for the whole day up, went right to the summit, and sure enough, we got to see a big bull moose, and Vida and Torque, they were going to hold him for us, and we called them off, and they listened, which was pretty cool. Because sometimes I got to say it twice, don't I, boys? I got to say by me twice. Pretty cool. So yeah, this is a good pair of boys. Phoenix, bring them boys here. Way to go. Way to go. Way to go, you guys. Way to go. Now, you should always command and use a sign if you like a sign, because visual, you can incorporate that into your program. And the big dog will model that, bring these little guys over. Pretty soon the little guys know exactly what the sign means. So yeah, it's pretty good. What do you say, buddy? What do you say, mister? You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. Now, there's no way I'm going to try and pronounce the lake that the Timber Island is on. But in New Hampshire, there's a lake. I think it's, I won't try and pronounce it. But anyway, there's an island called Timber. And he's named after that island. He's headed down there. And he's going down to Michelle and Bob there, and they're going to look after him. He's a rock star. Now Thor, he's heading down to Colorado, and he'll be keeping the big cats off Michelle down there. Her and her family are waiting for him down there. He's a very good dog, this guy. Well, they're both exceptional dogs. Hey, Phoenix, we'll get going here. You come here. Phoenix, by me. Bring Timber up here. What do you got now, Phoenix? Thor, now what are they after? I guess they can go.